Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, a lot of people were asking me what those cards are, the Witchwood Oracle Fortune cards. I believe I got these on Etsy, but there's their website if you want to um, check them out. All right. I believe it's a creator from Australia. So let's continue with soulless people. One of the things that I didn't do for the first reading is I didn't ask the cards if you want to be read in reverse. So let's ask and see if the cards want to be read in reverse. The wolf. I'm going to say yes, because that's leader of the pack. That's, the wolf is speaking for the leader of the pack, and the wolf is alpha, and I'm going to say that's a yes card. So we are going to start to twist these around and see what we can do with that. All right, so we're going to go back to Soulless. We've got a big list of, unfortunately, soulless people in the world. And sorry, I'm just getting my list here together. It's a big list. Everybody wants to know. Of course, we got our usual suspects. We're going to try and hit those off first. And now that I've explained how we do the 5 cards, it'll go a lot faster. So I should be able to get a lot more in. Now, I want to reiterate, soulless doesn't mean bad. Soulless just doesn't mean they come from our sun. Right? And if you have a soul here on earth. And somebody said, why would God allow a soulless person? It's not up to God to allow who comes to earth. God is just one of many populating the earth with his soul, with their soul. Anybody, like I said, it's not a dome with a one-way one straw coming in and going out. It's open, and other entities are free to enjoy their time on Earth as well. The only restriction is that they have to take a human form or an animal form, but mostly human form. I'd like to think of animals as innocent in all of this. And so that's why it's tough for us to recognize them. But think of it as your spacesuit. Your human form is your spacesuit. And so these energies come in, the entities come in, and they want to play as well. All right. So not all soulless people are mean and cruel and lack empathy. Most are, but not all. All right, let's start with the man of the hour, Brian Kohberger. I did a big statement about the reading that I did on that. And after we do this, I really don't want to say his name again. I don't care if he is a soulless person or not. He could have done the right thing. All right, so let's clear that. Let's get my attitude out of there. Brian Kohberger. Is he a soulless person? Okay, so the mask that he wears in public, the witch, the black magic, they creating, I was going to say creating chaos. What's his true energy like? The trickster. Wow, this guy's coming off soulless right away. What's his relationship to the truth? The tree. Bare, right? This tree has no leaves on it. It's bare. It's inactive, right? It's during its inactive time. I'm going to say that he's neither a truth teller nor a liar. He's inactive in his truth. And what's their capacity for empathy? Oh, the rat. The rat. Now, I did a little bit more reading on the rat, And the rat is actually very, you can think of Templeton from Charlotte's Web. They collect things, right? And for their own good. They're very industrious, very industrious. So their capacity for empathy, um, are they capable of human connection or simply mimicry? I don't think so. But let's go to the last one. My soul's warning. So, my intuition, your intuition about this person might be different, but this is what my intuition is telling me about this person. The sun in reverse, very dark. And look at that. The sun card, he does not come from the soul. He is a soulless person. He is a soulless person. And what's the final verdict? I mean, look at his cards. Even the positive one that he has is in reverse. What's the final verdict on? I don't even know if we have to do a final verdict on this guy, but let's do one. What's the final verdict? The crown in reverse. Loser. Crown has been knocked off his head. Also crown, we have to remember the crown is typically your crown chakra, which is attached to the sun. And I think he's an entity from below the earth. There's entities below the earth and above the earth. And I think he's an entity from below the earth because we have the crown and the sun both in reverse. So I'm going to say he's a very dark entity that comes from below the earth. And those are some of the most terrible ones. All right, let's lighten things up a bit and see how Jeffrey Epstein is. Honest to God, Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the psychic world, the tarot world is really divided on if this man is alive. I believe he is. My cards have always said he is. I believe he's living in Israel under obviously witness protection kind of thing. Obviously, when he leaves the house, he wears a mask, or he's grown a beard, or shaved his head, wears a cap all the time. Very easy for men to disguise themselves. They can even leave the house looking like a woman, right? Whereas for a female, it's a little bit more difficult because how do you hide your breasts? Men can make breasts, right? All right, Jeffrey Epstein, is he a soulless person? Is Jeffrey Epstein, is he a soulless person? The moon. The moon. Well, he is in... So this is the mask that he wears. Yeah, and he does wear like a shifting mask, right? Also very changeable. You know, he went from math teacher to billionaire to hanging out with politicians. And does he wear a mask in public that he's your best friend, but when that mask slips, he's videoing you with a young person? Let's find out what's his true energy like. Oh, look at that mask. He's this man is wearing a mask somewhere right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. What's the relationship to the truth? Death in reverse. He has no relationship with the truth whatsoever. Whatsoever. This man is a pathological liar. Pathological liar. So everything from is he alive or dead, right? All right. And what's his capacity for empathy? The compass. I think he can direct his empathy when he needs it. It also might go in different directions. So perhaps he's empathetic towards people that are close to him, but not empathetic towards the fools who fall into his trap. But he has different directions of empathy. I'm going to say that he does have some empathy, but it's probably misdirected. All right. And what's my soul's warning about Jeffrey Epstein? Chaos, 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 chaos. Yeah. My soul tells me that this is a dark soul or soulless person. Let's find out. What's the final verdict? What's the final verdict? What's the final verdict? Wow. The river in reverse is meaning he's out of control, going nowhere. Also, it's reversed, so I'm going to say the verdict is this is a soulless person, right? Because we can have somebody who has a soul, but they're just a real freaking asshole, right? Or, but I'm going to say with this being in reverse and this chaos here and the masks that he wears, so he doesn't know how to be a human and a pathological liar, I'm going to say that, yeah, he's a soulless person. Think of, and one of the things is people who hurt children or young people or use people, exploitive is one of the signs. All of those. You know what people mentioned and I neglected to do was, I did Meghan, let's do Harry. Let's do Harry. Is Prince Harry, is he a soulless person or is he just a big idiot? Right? Prince Harry, is he a soulless person? Is Prince Harry a soulless person? Is Prince Harry a soulless person? Oh, the sun in reverse. Yeah, he doesn't come from the sun. He doesn't come from the soul. The coins, all about money. So the mask he shows, he's not very good at showing he is royalty, right? The mask he shows a dark mask to the world. He shows a hurt person. That's the mask he wears. Is he doesn't wear this royal mask, something like what Queen Elizabeth did. He actually, tells people, yeah, I do drugs. Yeah, I probably drink too much. Yeah, I wear funny Halloween costumes and I run around naked in Vegas. What are you going to do about it? His inner, and this is interesting because he is a pentacle, his inner energy is all about money. So him and Meghan are quite a good pair. All right, what's their relationship to the truth? The wand in reverse, he doesn't have a relationship with the truth at all. This is making up stories. Yeah. You think of a wand that, conductor creates things with a wand. You can have a magical wand where you have your fairy godmother makes things. Well, if it's in reverse, it's making things up. He's extremely good at making things up. So he could just be living in a fantasy world rather than a lying world. What's his capacity for empathy? The hand in reverse. Take, 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 take. He has no capacity for empathy. He's a taker. He's not a giver. Take, take, take. And look at that. With the money here, it's all about money with this guy. And what's my soul's warning about Prince Harry? What's my intuition? What's a symbology for what my intuition tells me about Prince Harry? Oh, death. Yeah, this guy is he's definitely a soulless person, but let's ask, what's the verdict? What's the verdict on Harry with him being a soulless person? What's the verdict? I mean, the first card that came out, he's sun in reverse. Not from the sun. Interesting. Not from the sun, and that all of a sudden it echoed in me, and not from the Father. The dagger. Oh my God. That's his whole MO. Stabbing people in the back. Knifing them. Yeah, this guy's not, he's definitely soulless. Again, that just means he's not from our sun. He's a different kind of entity. And it kind of shows, like, once you start thinking about this, you go, yeah, maybe he's not a narcissist. Maybe he's just a soul. Maybe he's a different kind of entity that we don't recognize, that his family doesn't recognize. And I just want to show you, like, how it has nothing to do with the parents at all. at all. There, you create this little human spacesuit, and fingers crossed, you do get a soul, but sometimes you don't. And those are the children that cause so much chaos in your life. Um, they're the ones who ghost the family. They're the ones who have a lot of the mental issues. They're the ones who scream and yell at you because you're the wrong political, right? I mean, that's not normal. That's really not normal. And it's not the parents' fault. There's nothing you can say or do about it. It's how life happens. All right. Now, we did Trump, so let's do Obama. Let's do Obama. Is Obama a soulless? Is Obama soulless? And then we'll get to Zelensky and Putin. Obama. Is Obama a soulless entity? Is Obama a soulless entity? The snake. I just all of a sudden popped in my head. Do you remember when Trump was first running, I think in 2016, and he did this snake thing? But when you picked me up, you knew I was a snake. Why would he show the world? Why would the mask that he wears a snake? Snake is also transformation upright, right? They shed their skin, but they're still a snake. So there's some people think a snake is transformation because they shed their skin, but they're still a snake. Versus a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, right? That's the difference. So what's his true energy like? Wow, the crown in reverse. Ooh, dictator. He's a dictator. Jeez. What's his relationship to the truth? Now he's a politician, so this should be interesting. Oh, the feather in reverse. That is definitely, he has no relationship to the truth. But as a seasoned politician, I didn't expect anything less. Seriously. You know what? And even good politicians go into politics with rah, rah, and everyone's like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And they leave in disgrace. He is, and even if you think of the feather as a pen, to write things out, doesn't have a good relationship with the truth. Okay, his capacity for empathy for others. The rat, that's the same as Brian Kohberger's. I'm thinking as long as the other person can do something for him. Or, right? Like how a rat collects things. I'm wondering if he collects like secrets and things about people. And, he has empathy for people who can do something for him. All right. And what's my soul's warning? What's my intuition regarding Barack Obama? Wow, the lady in reverse. Gossipy, backstabbing, possibly very corrupted female energy. Not pregnant with possibilities, actually kind of stuck. What's the verdict on Barack Obama? What's the verdict on Barack Obama? What's the verdict? Is Barack a soulless person? The moon. He's changed. I'm going to say, this might sound contradictory. I'm going to say he's not a soulless person. I'm going to say he's had a change in personality. And I'm saying that because of this snake. He shed one skin, and now he's wearing a new skin, and he'll shed another skin, but he's still at the core who he is, but it's almost like a shapeshifter. But with this moon here, it just tells me that he actually is like a shapeshifter. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I think politics has really changed him. Also, this lady in reverse could be telling me my intuition that I was one of the first ones who called they're not together. And I did that at Jimmy Carter's funeral. It was like, why didn't she show up? The cards are very clear that they were not together. So that could be telling me also that my intuition that his marriage is over is correct. I'm actually going to say he doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities, but he's certainly not a soulless person. All right? All right, so let's go to Zelensky. Vladimir Zelensky. No, is Vladimir his name too? Anyways, whatever. Zelensky. Zelensky, the comedian dancer that likes to flop his penis around. Is he a soulless person? Is he a soulless person? Is he a soulless person? Is Vladimir Zelensky? No, I don't know if his name's Vladimir Zelensky. I don't know why I want to say that. Zelensky. Zelensky. Is he a soulless person? The president of Ukraine. Zelensky. Is he a soulless person? Is he a soulless person? Is he a soulless person? A snake? Politician. I think from now on, my snake card's going to be the politician. This is him. This is exactly what I mean. He was a comedian and a dancer. He shed that skin and became a politician. Once became a politician, shed that skin, and now he's an army general. This is the mask that he gives people. But what's his real energy? The moon. Very changeable. Very, very changeable. All right. What's his relationship to the truth? The river. Interesting, we have movement cards here. This guy is shifty. He's really shifty. I'm going to say he's mostly telling the truth, but what he tells you today could be running down the river, right? And as they say, you can never step into the same river twice. I'm going to say that his truth moves. And with the moon here, I think it moves to who he's with. I think that's where his truth is. But for the most part, he's telling the truth. What's his capacity for empathy? The owl. Actually, he does have. He's very smart about who he emphasizes with. He can tell when somebody doesn't deserve any empathy, right? They're lying to him or making things up or exaggerating. He's actually very astute with that. What's my soul's warning about Zelensky? What's my higher intuition trying to tell me? The dagger. Yeah, this is not a nice man at all. This is somebody who will stab you in the back. Even though that might be why he sits back like the owl and watches people, because he's not trustworthy. He's not trustworthy. And he changes so much. He's a shapeshifter. I'm going to say that he is a soul. He is not a soulless person. Let's see what the verdict is, though. Number one, he really, other than the dagger and the snake, for the most part, he got not bad cards, more positive cards. Let's find out. What's the final verdict? The key, yeah, no, he's not a soulless person. He is a person with a soul. He's one of us. He just likes to switch things up. Let's put it that way. All right. So now let's do Putin. This will be interesting because many of us don't believe that Putin's actually alive, that he actually died last year, and they've been using masks and body doubles and whatnot since then. So this will be interesting. Putin. Is Putin a soulless person? Is Putin, now I know he's Vladimir. Is he a soulless person? Is Putin, the president of Russia, Mother Russia, is he a soulless person? Is he a soulless person? Okay. Ooh, the wolf in reverse. Cannot be trusted. Rabies. Why would he put that as his mask to the world? Or that he's dangerous? That's actually, now that makes sense. That he's dangerous, that you can't trust him. You don't know what direction he's going to run into. Oh, his true inner is the snake. Is the snake. What's his relationship to the truth? The Lord. Okay, there's somebody who is very good at the truth. Or he just tells the truth when it's anything to do with his leadership. And I think some of this snake here is because he was KGB and now he's, the president. All right, what's his capacity for empathy for others? The crown. Wow. He's empathetic where it comes to any kind of his leadership. I'm going to say he's fair. It's not a very warm card, but it's recognition of other people's empathy. But as so far, he's the leader, right? And he doesn't really show emotions. And, but he's empathetic to, if you follow the rules, he'll be empathetic to you. All right, what's my soul's intuition telling me about Putin? The key in reverse. He could lock you away for a very long time and throw away the key. But is he a soulless person? No, he is not. But let's check the verdict. Isn't this interesting how these cards are coming out? People that you think would be soulless aren't, and people who you think should be soulless aren't. All right, that's the final verdict. The wand in reverse. I think he has a soul. He just creates a lot of chaos around him. I think that bit of a dictator. The wand in reverse. It's like his way or no way, or the highway. So I'm thinking he does have a soul. He's just very arrogant and a bit of a dictator, and it's his way or no way, and he's not very creative about any kind of solutions. As I've heard about Putin and I've said about him, this man has no reverse. That could be the one. There's no reverse. It's full steam ahead. But yeah, he has a soul. Okay, let's do Ghislaine Maxwell, and we'll wrap up this session. I'll return to this session in another video because there's lots. We've got a big list to go through, but I'm just trying to get to the top ones right now. Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell. Is she a soulless person? Is she a soulless person? Is she a soulless person? Ghislaine Maxwell. Is she a soulless? The key in reverse. She's locked away. This is the mask that she wears out right now. Yeah, so she's wearing the mask of someone in prison. I think this is the card's way of telling me we're on her energy. What's her true energy like? The Anchor in reverse. She's kind of adrift, I'm getting. And that you can say a lot about her, their anchor upright is stability, and you found your place in life, and long for a long time it's nice heavy stability. But the anchor in reverse can be a drag, right? It's an anchor like a ball and chain that's stuck to your leg. So I'm thinking that her inner energy is she's adrift. She doesn't know who to cling to. I'm hearing that Elton John song about Candle in the Wind, when the rain set in, you don't know who to cling to. I think that she's very adrift, very adrift. All right, what's her relationship to the truth? The mask in reverse. She has no relationship to the truth whatsoever. None. None. You can't believe a word that comes out of this woman's mouth. So when she comes out with the so-called black book or list, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. She might be just talking so that she can find some kind of stabilizing energy. What's her capacity for empathy? Oh my goodness, the wolf in reverse. None. None. This wolf would eat anything and everyone. Wow. And what's my intuition telling me about Ghislaine Maxwell? The moon. She's changeable. She's a, a shift, right? She shifts to who she's with. And she's easily led. I really get a sense from her. She's not the brightest crayon in the box. She's extremely easily led. So she's definitely enjoys being one of the pack and not the alpha. Absolutely. She does as she's told. I always get that from her, that I have never picked up that she's a very intelligent woman, or is of her own energy. I've always and that just here tells me with the anchor, she's always adrift, like she clings to whoever she's with, and she's a shapeshifter, and the moon is telling me that she's constantly changing her story. Yeah, that's what's the final verdict here? What's the final verdict? The heart. Wow. Now that would tell me she has a soul, the heart. That was one of the reasons I chose this deck, because it had a heart. And those of you who follow me around about the karma and the chakras and the antichrist and everything, our heart. That's why Jesus always has a heart. His heart has those glow lines around it, right? You'll see Jesus and he's got his heart is a glow. That's because his heart comes from the sun. If you look, that's not a glow, that's the sun. I'm going to say that she is the cards are telling me the verdict. She does have a soul. I just think that she's not very smart. And she's a pathological liar, and she has no empathy. But the cards are saying she's a soul. She absorbs the energy that she's around. She absorbs the energy and she's adrift, but she's definitely a soul. All right. Oh, Netanyahu. Netanyahu. And then I'll wrap it up. Netanyahu. Netanyahu. Is he a soulless person? 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 Netanyahu, is he a soulless person? And just a reminder here, this isn't a political reading. Everybody calm down, please. Netanyahu, is he a soulless person? So what's the mask he shows the public? The river. The river. That he's come a long way, that, you know, he can carry a lot, that he is willing to move, he's willing to change. Rivers change all the time. Like they cut into a bank. Ooh, did I just say bank? East Bank, North Bank, West Bank. They can cut into a bank and change it, right? Over time, right? So this just tells me that, and a lot of us have, a lot of societies have used river for transportation. So he likes to think of himself as, you know, clear and adaptable and helpful and helping people move on and being able to change and go with the flow. All right. So what's his real energy? The coins in reverse. He's in a panic about losing things. I'm getting that he feels like there's almost like imposter syndrome here. His real energy though is losing money. Like he's constantly worried about losing money, about losing face, and pentacles are earth, about losing his footprint, right? Let's see on what's his relationship to the truth. Ooh, the flame in reverse. Yeah. There's no relationship to the truth here. He runs really hot and cold. He might show that he's in the flow. He loves being in the flow, but he's actually not. I'm really getting there's a imposter syndrome here with him. All right. What's his capacity for empathy? Oh, chaos. None. 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 Zilch. Nada. What's my soul's warning? What's my intuition and my higher self trying to tell me about Netanyahu? I haven't done a lot of readings about him. A little bit about that situation over there. The stranger in reverse. Do not trust this man. Wow. Holy. Is he trying to show us he is of this earth, but he's not? What's the final verdict? What's the final verdict? What's the final verdict? The lady. Huh. The lady. That's the creative process. That's the divine feminine principle. This is interesting to me because if I didn't do this verdict, I'd say, no, this man's a soulless person. But he did come up with the lady, which is the Empress card, which is pregnant with possibilities. That's almost going with the flow, like the flow of things. And I'm seeing like flowing down here. And I'm going to say that I'm going to have to say he does have a soul, but he is very not to be trusted. Not to be trusted. He's a liar that creates a lot of chaos. He's also does he have a different name? Like does he, like this stranger who shows up in reverse is like, was he not born in Israel or something like that? Like does he not belong there? Or is there something he's hiding about himself? Something's telling me to pull a second card on this lady. What else can you tell me about the witch in reverse? Well, like I said, the witch upright is your black magic, and in reverse is your Wicca, and that's on the lady. Oh, I just got it. He's using chaos energy. Like he's probably using like the Kabbalah and other magical things. I'm not going to say tricks. I'm going to say he has actually invoked a lot of this, but in a positive way for outcomes for himself or for the country or whatever. That's what he's doing. Now that makes sense, right? Because as in with the Jewish faith, there's all kinds of spells and well, just the Kabbalah alone. That's what he might be doing. But I have to go with this and say, no, he is of this earth. He is of this earth. It's just he's got all this chaos around him right now. I'm wondering if, like I said, I don't know much about him. I'm wondering if he's not who he says he is. All right, so I'm going to wrap up this session. We've got so many to do. Put your ideas down below, and the ones that get the most likes, don't double them up. So don't say the same word over and over. Just like when you see one, and I'll see the likes, and the ones with the most likes we'll do in the next session. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.